a hot minute since I have filmed a review for you guys, so I thought I would come on here and do another foundation review for you guys. You guys seem to really enjoy the foundation reviews, and for me foundation is in fact the most important part of makeup. So today is very exciting. I don't think I've ever tested a Maybelline foundation on my channel before, so I went ahead and picked up the Maybelline Fit Me foundation from Dis-Chem. Dis-Chem was having a 72 Rand per Fit Me collection price decrease sale. So they had a 72 Rand foundation, a 72 Rand concealer, which I also picked up, as well as the Maybelline Fit Me compact powder. I didn't get the powder. I don't really have a use for powder anymore because if you guys are new to my channel, I'm currently on Orotane, so my skin is very dry. Now I was a bit wary picking up this foundation because it says it's matte and poreless and it's normal to oily with clay. So I was like, fuck. Let's hope that my skin is going to be okay with this foundation. I have prepped my skin. I do have my serums and my moisturizers and everything that I would usually put on before a foundation. I don't, however, have a primer. I'm not going to use a primer. I always test out my foundations with no primer, just because not everyone will have access to a primer, so it doesn't make sense for me to then go and have 100 million steps for a basic foundation that should work fine on its own. So without further ado, let's get started into the review. So as usual, Dis-Chem and most of the clicks as well don't tend to have tests out during COVID, which I understand. We don't want people touching all of this stuff, so I kind of color matched myself in the shop without my mask, with my mask on, so it was kind of, I couldn't really hold it up to my jawline to test, but I think I have got a good match. I got it in 110 porcelain. The lightest one before this is I think it's shade 95, and it just looked a bit too pink for me. So I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but I do have a yellow to warm undertone. So I definitely didn't want to get another pink foundation because I have so many, because most porcelains are actually kind of pink. So I'm just going to give this a good old shake. I don't know how long it's been in the shop for. I actually don't know what the retail price is for this full price, but anyway. So it comes in a tube, which, by the way, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram and you guys haven't seen my stories, I think I've broken like 4 foundation bottles that have come in glass. So your girl has invested in a tube. Anyway, so got my mirror out, and I don't actually know how to put this on my face. All of my foundations I've ever used have pumps. So I think I'm actually going to squeeze a bit out onto my hand first and then dot it everywhere. Okay, so this, it kind of smells like sunscreen. So the amount I put on my finger is just around like a pump would be in my pump foundations, but by the feel of it, it feels really nice and velvety. It doesn't feel too watery or like liquidy, which is nice. I don't like my foundations to be too runny. Personal preference, I always go in with a brush when I'm applying my foundation, and then I go over it with a sponge, just because I prefer and I sheer out the foundation better with a foundation brush. Okay, so off the bat, the coverage is okay. I, for some reason, was expecting a little bit more coverage. I don't know why. What does it say on the back? Okay, so it's emphasizing natural seamless finish, so I'm assuming that it's going to be a light coverage. Maybe it will be a buildable so that you get a medium to full, but I'm going to go ahead and add on a second layer. But first, let's do a little bit of a close-up. Okay, so I'm noticing a little bit of it just looks like it's settling into this cheek area over here. It's more on this side than this side, so I don't know if that's my Orotane skin saying hi or what is happening. but let's go ahead and add a second coat. One more coat, like I said. If I had my really bad skin that I had a couple months ago, I think that I would need to put a bit more layers on, because my pigmentation was quite intense. I had lots of purple, red pigmentation on my face, as you guys will know if you guys have been here for a while. So let's do another coat and see if it's buildable. I did allow some time to dry. I'm not sure how this foundation works, but hopefully allowing it to dry in between has, I don't know, made it set better, so that when you blend it on top it's like settled. I don't know, I'm not really familiar with Maybelline foundation, so I'm not really sure how it all works. But I will say this is a pretty good match. I think this is the one of the greatest matches I've ever done in my history of matching without testers, because that always seems to go wrong in my sector. Okay. So it's really natural. It's really natural. I will say that. The only thing is that it's looking a little bit weird on my nose area, on my cheek area, like I mentioned. So adding a second coat hasn't really changed it much. Patting it in with a sponge hasn't really done much either. I think I might put a little bit on the actual sponge and pat it onto the area. Maybe that will help, because it's not looking very cute right here. So hopefully patting it into the skin will help. Okay, it hasn't improved the look of the texture. I don't know if my camera will pick up on it if I zoom in, because my camera isn't super HD. But if I take a picture, I will attach it so that you can actually see it. But I'll come closer anyway, just in case. I'm not sure if that is showing any difference, but as you can see here, it's a little bit like cakey, and here it's a little bit cakey, and on my nose it's a little bit cakey. Those also might be the most driest points of my face, so it could be clinging to that extra dryness. So if I had to wear this foundation again, I would then need to maybe do even more hydrating skincare. So this is the finished kind of everything. I've got my face makeup on, I've finished everything, I've powdered underneath my eyes. I've also added the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, which I know I've used it before. It's a really nice lightweight concealer. But having a look at what I was talking about on my nose and on my cheeks, my nose is looking a little bit patchy. The cheeks look slightly better, but that's because the highlighter and the blush is kind of hiding that that texture on my skin. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a wear test for you guys, and I'm going to be wearing a mask because I have to go out. So we're going to see how it wears underneath a mask. I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, Bianca, you have auritained skin, you have dry skin, you have dehydrated skin. Why the fuck are you testing on a matte foundation? Because I like matte foundations, and I'm not going to let my dry skin defeat me from wearing matte foundations. And then you're like, Bianca, why don't you just wear a luminous foundation, a dewy foundation, and just set it? I'm like, why? I like the best of both worlds, and I like having matte foundations, and I like having dewy. And maybe some other people that have dry skin that want to try this out will want to see how it wears on a dry, dehydrated skin. So I really want to keep the channel for the best of both worlds, and I will be trying all sorts of foundation no matter what my skin type will be in the future. Who knows, it might be oily again and maybe it will work different, so I will probably test that again or keep you updated on my social media. So for now, I will check you guys in later, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day so far, and let's see how this foundation wears. Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a while. I have been gone since about my cat. Hi, comment. I filmed this tutorial at about like maybe 11 o'clock, and it's now 11 o'clock at night. So you could say it is a full solid amount of wear that I've had. So if we have a look at the foundation really closely, the pigmentation, the cakiness that I found on my cheek area kind of went away, but it started being emphasized on my forehead now, so it's kind of just like moved up. Please excuse my crusty ass lips, it's an issue. But my nose is looking okay. When I went to the shops and I wore a mask, quite a bit did rub off of my nose, which is probably common because masks aren't designed to be mask proof, obviously. But that being said, when I wear masks with other foundations, usually I have foundation missing on my chin, I have some missing on my cheeks, I have like the line of the mask embedded in the foundation. So this one actually wore pretty well underneath the mask, if I must say. The only thing is that now, like, obviously my forehead's looking a bit textured. There's a bit of texture on my nose still. I did have to, like I said, reapply a little bit of the foundation before I went out again. But my cheeks, they look okay. This one looks a little bit more cakey than this side, so it's like this one started off cakey and then this one became more cakey. My chin is okay. I will say that it definitely did look better with wear. I'm not that I produced any oil, I don't think. I know that my oil glands are practically empty right now, but for so far I think I'm not like blown away by the foundation, and I'm not like really mad about it, so I would probably give this foundation like a solid 6 out of 10. And the reason I say 6 out of 10 is because of the cakiness on my forehead and my cheeks. I don't really like cakiness on my face when it comes to foundation. Yes, even though I've been wearing it for more than 10 hours. But it's still a really good buy. Even though I paid 72 Rand, it's a really good deal. The concealer as well. However, I do find that there's a little bit of blackness and creasing underneath my eyes, but it could be my powder or it could be my mascara. I'm not quite sure which common denominator it is, but otherwise there's minimal creasing in my laugh lines. Like I said, it looks cakey on my forehead. It's settled in quite a few of my lines. But otherwise, it's pretty good. I would definitely recommend this if you do have more of an oily skin, obviously, because it is designed for more oily skin. If you're dry, you're going to need to definitely pick up on your moisturizer and your serums. But other than that, 6 out of 10 is a pretty good foundation review for me. Most foundations don't really get past 6. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you have used this foundation, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you guys in my next review. Bye!